Hey everyone, and welcome back to Travel Tip Tuesday with the Travel Mug Podcast. I am Jen, joined as always by my partner in podcasting, Megan. How is it going today, Megan?
Things are good, it's been a year this Monday, but it's almost over.
Well, the good news is when this episode comes out, I think you'll be in Amsterdam.
Well,
So that's
there's
exciting.
that, and I'll live, I hope. So yeah,
I'm sure you will.
let's persevere, Jen. What are we gonna chat about today?
So I'm a little scared to bring up this topic because I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. And today
Already, Michael.
it's true. Today, we're going to talk about getting the dreaded SSSS on your boarding pass, which stands for Secondary Security Screening Selection. Uh, I've heard it called quad because it's four S's. So, yes. So, as far as I know, as far as I could learn on the internet, on the Google, this only happens with flights either going into or out of or within the USA. But it's important to understand what it means and what to do if you get it. So, first of all, there's a lot of controversy about the program. It's seen as possibly infringing on privacy rights and the potential for racial and ethnic discrimination. People from certain countries are subject to it by default, apparently, and other criteria that may trigger you to get this is traveling on a one-way ticket, buying a last-minute ticket, paying cash for your ticket, flying through a country that's considered high risk by the Department of State, frequently traveling to unusual destinations, having a name that resembles someone on a Department of Homeland Security watch list, or it's random.
Nice.
It could be. So, what happens if you get the SSSS on your boarding pass? So, you'll go through a more intensive screening process, which may include a pretty invasive sounding pat down, swabbing for explosives, and a luggage inspection. I read one person's blog where they were asked to turn on all of their electronics that was in their carry-on bag to prove that it was a working electronic, which side note is funny to me because the first time I ever flew was 6 months after 9/11 happened. So that like this procedure is what I went through then.
Oh,
So
poor millennials, this has been your whole lives.
I know, my god, I've done this before. So after the inspection, a TSA agent will fill out paperwork and they should stamp your boarding pass to indicate that you've been appropriately screened. You must get the stamp. If you don't get the stamp, you'll run into additional delays when trying to board at the gate.
Oh,
So
wow.
very important to make sure that they stamp your boarding pass. Obviously, this additional screening takes more time, so leave yourself plenty of time at the airport to get through security. Unfortunately, if you have TSA PreCheck, Global Entry, or Nexus, they're programs that you normally expedite your process through security checkpoints, but they do not prevent an SSSS code from appearing on your boarding pass. This program overrides the TSA PreCheck, Global Entry, and Nexus, so you can't use them. So does this mean you'll have an SSSS forever? Not
Oh.
necessarily. If you were selected randomly, chances are you'll never see it again. If you were selected because your name is flagged for whatever reason, you will continue to get it until you're removed from that list. If you believe that you have been unfairly or incorrectly delayed, there is a program for you to help get your name off that list, the DHS Redress Inquiry Program. I will put the link in the show notes for that. If you are selected, you'll probably have trouble checking in online or even at the kiosks at the airport. You're going to have to check in with an agent. So overall, just like give yourself plenty of time at the airport, be nice to the TSA workers, and everything will be just fine. Megan, have you ever had an SSSS before?
Well, let's start with have I ever heard of this, and that's a no. So, I hope therefore I mean, none of those things have happened to me. It's probably a privilege, that we have. And no, also never been randomly selected either that I'm aware of because the things you described, again, I've not experienced. I hope never to have to. I'll live with it if I do, but no. What about you?
No, I haven't, and I'm slightly surprised because, I get they don't select minors for this program, but growing up, like, my maiden last name is Smith, and my first name is Jennifer, so, like, Jennifer Smith, how many of them are in the world? Probably, like, a million, I guess. I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm sure one of them is on some watch list for something. There's
You
just
would
too
think.
many. But luckily, after I got married, I changed my name. That's much less common. So hopefully
Right.
no one has the same name as me doing not great things. So yeah, knock on wood. I never get it, but at least we'll know what to do if we do.
Right.
So
Who are you now?
exactly. That's all we have for this week's Travel Tip Tuesday. You can find us on social media at Travel Mug Podcast or on our website, travelmugpodcast.com. If you'd like to support the show, you can do that by buying us a coffee, by leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or by sharing the show with a travel loving pal. Until next time, bye.
Bye, everyone.